Hey, so Wack, let me ask you this, man.
What up?
Since I've been out here, I've been getting pressed by quite a few rappers. Been having a lot of issues.
Who?
Tay Savage pressed me. I've been getting pressed
What's
by
up with that, Ross?
Relva from Chicago. I got a lot.
He used
I got
the
a lot
seafood word in front of 4 extras. Got a little hot.
Before game
we need
pass.
to address that though. We need
He
to address
gave
that,
you a
man.
pass.
We
You
need
have
to
said it
address
again,
that.
he might would have took one.
I've thought about this non-stop. You know, I've been replaying this over in my head. This whole situation, man.
Talk about it, Ross.
Look, okay, all right. Obviously, what happened. Okay, I wasn't trying to offend him. I wasn't bringing it up to
Who
diss
are you
him.
talking about?
4 extras.
I don't want to say it again and get myself
No, you
in more
can't. He
trouble.
already told you don't say it.
But you know what's
We
going
heard what
on.
you said.
Anyway, I just thought it was a coincidence that word was on the leaderboard thing. Obviously, I wasn't directing it at him.
board?
He's in front of a video game machine, has like the top scorers. And 4 of the 5 top scorers were the derogatory word for sea creatures that Bloods use.
Oh.
So I brought it up, but I wasn't directing it at him. I was like, oh, it's a crazy coincidence that it says that. It's kind of like a
Well,
diss.
he did-
It's
he
kind of
know-
like a diss. But
No, that is a diss. That's probably the most. That's probably that's the original diss.
no, but this is why I thought about this a lot, because it didn't dawn on me until later that it's like, people
I've seen it.
Right there.
people are winning the game and putting that in as the high score to diss Crips, right?
Or
It took
I don't know.
it's
It
like
could be
so why is
or
that there?
It could be a square dude. That's really what they call
But
it.
it's too
Honestly,
many times.
yeah.
They've got it too many times. To
His
me, it's
could-
like
his
it
could
was like,
name me.
oh, this is like a trap the ops have left in a
But-
bowling alley
Okay,
for
but
me
also
to get
this
pressed.
is Calabasas at a random bowling alley. The number of Crip haters that are realistically playing Space Invaders at a bowling alley in
don't matter.
Calabasas.
Clearly, they're rolling deep.
possibilities.
It don't
Clearly,
matter.
they're rolling strong in there.
Well,
they're pressing the Crips
that's
in there.
pretty
Hold
good.
on,
It could mean
hold on,
other
hold
things.
on.
It could be a
That's
guy
close
where
to
that's his nickname.
Well, then why did I get pressed over it?
Because you
extras,
said the
right?
word.
I
And
didn't-
I'm going to be real.
It's
His
close to
response was
McCoyman.
kind of performative.
Not far
No, but-
away.
No, it wasn't. No,
I don't think he was really
far.
mad
He
at
gave
you.
him a
So
pass.
I-
No,
so-
that
so I
far. He
can't wear
wasn't
the word.
mad, but he was stern. 4X is a gang member. He's a
Right.
gang member. I don't want to call him a gang banger because I think he's grown. He's a gang member. He really from where he's from. So he knew that he didn't mean it like that.
Right, yeah.
But he was stern enough to let him know if you say it again.
Okay.
I think if you said it again, he might not would have closed fist you, but he might would have like smacked
Little
your
overhand.
Boxer ears.
Right? You'd have said it again, he might would have tried to sock you out.
But you didn't say the word. You just pointed
No,
out.
I said
You
the
just-
word. I said the word.
Oh, you did? No, he said
I would have just pointed
said-
at it and made him say it. Or at least
He
like,
said-
Yeah.
got
no,
him.
but okay. This is the question. This
What
is the
you
thing that
do is be like, look,
this is the part that I couldn't get my head around. Was just like, okay, so obviously I've said it. That's a violation, right? So you can't say it in any context. So if we go for
From this
seafood,
point
if we
on-
go out for seafood, and you just can't order that. You
mean,
can't even order
no,
it.
honestly, hold on.
You can't even order it. Can you
Hold
eat
on.
it?
Who gives a fuck?
Hold on.
Crip,
When we
can you
gonna
eat it?
order, we're gonna speak English, right?
Yeah.
A Crip is gonna say, "Give me a pound of Crip legs." Is what they're
Yeah.
gonna say,
Okay.
right? You
That's what they say.
no,
Oh,
you
okay.
no,
Okay.
you
Okay.
listen. You're supposed to speak English, right?
Right.
If I'm sitting at the table, right, with my partners, right, we're gonna order how we're gonna order. We're ordering food, right? But in that situation, the camera was on. 4X just couldn't lay back like he didn't hear that.
What about the thing that Comparator said? Would you be able to go buy some sort of tabletop game and use that word to describe it, or would you avoid that?
Okay, so if I'm somewhere, right, and somebody says that, right, depending on where I'm at, I'm not gonna pay it no attention.
Right.
Because if I'm in at a kid's damn birthday party, we in Calabasas somewhere, and they say, "Hey man, let's do a game with it," I'm not gonna
That's
pay it no
growth.
attention.
Yeah.
But if we're around somebody that where it's gang members in there, and they say it, it's a chance A that they don't know. That's a disrespect of our neighborhood. It's a chance B that they're saying it intentionally, right?
Right.
But C is, you're not gonna say it again, right? I'm gonna get at you, and if you say it again, at that point it's on, right? So that's what he did with you, right? He was smiling about it because he knew you didn't know no better, right? He know that he don't get no points from a guy from London, saying that, but he was very stern to a point to where you understood. He took it as disrespect.
But
No,
it's
I didn't.
also
I
like
overstood.
we're on camera. Hundreds of thousands of people might see this. So it's like he kind of has to react in a
Yeah,
way
he-
that's a little different than if it was just behind the scenes.
Especially
think-
after the Brick Baby thing.
I don't think
Yeah.
4X's was being performative.
No, I
That was a natural reaction. Whether that camera would have been on or off, he was going to say something to him.
Maybe
But
he
you know what I'm
put
saying?
maybe he put like a fifth extra on.
Oh
for
yeah,
that,
yeah,
for the
sure.
camera.
I mean, to put it in perspective, there's been like 4 times on the podcast where I've mentioned something regarding me, going to sleep for 20 or 30 minutes before we do the podcast, and Brick Baby like,
A long rest.
what the f does he care? Like he knows I'm not saying it like that.
Well, You and Brick's relationship is totally different.
Right, because we're actually close. He's just meeting for extra.
Yeah, that's totally different.
That's
That's
big
totally
thing.
different.
Four
You know what I'm
extra was
saying?
cool, man. I've been saying off the back all day.
But
Him and Wack need to get together. I know you had that fight back in the day, but we got to get you guys on the same podcast. 4 extra.
I never had a fight.
I'm
Never
just
met
kidding. I'm
him.
contributing to that lore. Laura.
But Ross, you had another
I
confrontation.
never met him. Like,
Oh, which
Why do
one?
you
Which
guys
one's
wanna
the, which,
fight
which
everybody? What's
confrontation
wrong
we on
with these
now?
guys?
that's what
No,
they do.
but Ross had a way more inflammatory confrontation than the one with 4 extras.
Yes.
Which
Who?
was the Tay Savage.
Well, that's-
incident.
Yeah,
Who
Tay
was
Savage
Tay
confrontation.
But really, the
He's
Tay
where you
Savage
from?
thing came.
Chicago.
It's like
from
the same
Chicago.
thing.
So
yeah.
you said some disrespectful stuff.
No, okay, so I did a tiny little sort of 2.5-hour documentary about some murders. that may or may not.
Accusing Tay Savage of basically having killed a shitload of people.
He beat their murders, man. He beat them up.
He beat
he
him.
beat
though.
him.
He beat him.
Well,
I said that.
we can
I
talk
said
about
that.
him.
he beat some of the ones that you talked about,
I-
but you certainly speculated about some that he may or may not have perpetrated.
I debunked at least one body.
He
So
debunked the body.
I took a body off him. So that counts for something.
But this is the thing: we don't talk about bodies. But if he
But he's
beat
a
a case,
YouTuber.
if he beat a
I
case
do be talking about
outright,
bodies.
if he beat
He
it
beat it.
outright, then it is what it is.
It's the same thing
paperwork.
as if a lady writes an article in the fucking newspaper saying, "Oh, this hood is accused of killing 10 people." It's like it's not her fucking job to keep
His
quiet about that
job
shit.
is to talk about that.
Yeah.
Got
That's
you.
literally
well,
what
I mean,
you do.
first of all, academics did it and got rich off of it.
Boom.
I feel like he got rich off of other things. That was
I
early
mean, well,
on.
it
Well,
got
that
him a
led to
start.
him getting
It
rich.
He
got
built
him
some
a start.
notoriety off
It
it.
got him a start.